And now, Mike's thoughts.
Guys, it is about time that we get this off of our chest. It is about time we speak the truth about this tush push. Guys, the tush push is straight up cheating in plain sight. Don't give me this, it's within the rules garbage, because it's not. Watch the Philadelphia Eagles run it. Every single time that offensive line lines up a half a yard deep into the neutral zone before the ball is even snapped. You're telling me that's not a false start every time the right guard moves? You're telling me the offensive linemen are not offsides? Please. The refs swallow the whistles because, it's the Eagles' signature play. Nah, that's favoritism, plain and simple. That's favoritism in plain sight. That is cheating in plain sight. And here's the kicker. If any other team tried this exact same nonsense, you know damn well the flags will be flying because Philly has made it their thing. Suddenly it's cool. No, it's not. It's a rugby scrum dressed up as football, and it's a joke that the league allows it to continue. This isn't innovation, it's exploration. The NFL is supposed to be about skill, execution, and fair competition. The tush push, it's nothing but bodies legally shifting, false starts being ignored, and the refs turning a blind eye because they don't want the crew that killed the Eagles bread and butter. Meanwhile, defenses don't even get a chance because the play isn't being officiated correctly. So let's stop pretending this is some genius move. It's not clever. It's not creative. It's the Eagles skating by with sloppy, illegal football, and the refs are too scared or too lazy to call it. You want 1 yard? Earn it like everybody else. Run a sneak, run a dive, block straight up. Don't act like bulldoze your QB forward with half the line off the sides of some type of master stroke. It's not. It's cheating. And until the league grows a backbone and actually enforces the damn rule book, Philly will keep getting away with it. And the fans have every right to be pissed. Cue that intro. Are you ready for the best damn NFL show on the planet? Man Hour Nation. Rise up.
Yeah, hey, let's go. Hitting that gridiron, we going hard, we running the plays. You know the vibe, only the strong survive. Gotta keep your head in the game. Talking NFL, uncut, straight raw, steady bringing that sauce. We about to take off, get it hype. This man, our sport talk. Yeah, from the quarterback to the lineman, everybody bringing heat. You don't really wanna try them. Hey, who gon' win? It's a battle of the giants. This show is the flyest, nobody can deny it. This is Man Hour, Sport Talk. Man Hour, Sport Talk. What team you reppin'? We keep it interesting. Who caught another down? Who got that interception? This is Man Hour, Sport Talk. Man Hour, Sport Talk. What team you reppin'? We keep it interesting. Who caught another down? Who got that interception?
Let's go. What is up, Man Hour Nation? Guys, welcome to Man Hour NFL Talk. You guys, your go-to spot for live, raw, uncut NFL talk. I'm so glad you're rolling with us today. But before we head over to today's action, guys, head over to manhourradio.com as you find your exclusive merchandise, fresh vlogs, and everything's happening with the show. If you're rocking the Man Hour, guys, that is a spot to do it. But if you go watching the live stream right now, make sure you hit the like button, hit the hype button as well, share and subscribe so you never miss a live show. That's the easiest way to stay plugged in with us each and every day. But if you want the full Man Hour experience, if you want the behind the scenes footage, if you want free merchandise, if you want free entry into our weekly NFL pick'ems, and of course, the exclusive merchandise, guys, become a Picks and Pundit. That is our members only community where you get all the next level access. So join the squad today. Guys, remember, this is a live interactive show. So drop your thoughts, your opinions, and your takes down below because I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you, Alpha Rob. I want to hear from you, Old Man River. I want to hear from you, Mr. Justin Osborne. Hope you guys are having a great day. Old Man River says the Lions look tough, though. Yes, man. Yes, the Lions looked pretty damn good. Come on. What's going on with my mouse? I can't. There he goes. Forgot to take Coach Rose sound off. So my bad, guys. But Justin Osborne said, or did the Baltimore Ravens just look more like themselves? So I see we're going to have some battles back and forth. I like it. Alpha Rob says, what up, Buck? I guess the Ravens just beat themselves yet again. That they did.
Pigskin pun. Get you some.
But guys, let's go ahead and start right there up at the top. And let's talk about last night's game. And let's talk about the one and only, the Detroit Lions, taking on the Baltimore Ravens. So, guys, because right now with the Detroit Lions, there's a lot of noise being made about them being back on top of the NFC, back in the Super Bowl realm, back of the leaders of the pack in the NFC after dropping that Week 1 game to the Green Bay Packers and an absolute beatdown. Let's just be honest. They responded with 2 straight wins. Now they're sitting at 2-1 after handling the Bears back in Week 2 and then beating the Baltimore Ravens on the road on Monday Night Football 38-30. But here's the question we have to ask about the Detroit Lions. Are they officially back on top of the NFC, or do we need to pump the brakes, back off the hype, and look at the larger picture? Guys, let's start with what went right with them on Monday Night Football. The Detroit offense was rolling. David Montgomery turned back the clock and punished the Ravens defense with 151 rushing yards, 2 tutties, and the Lions team that ran for 224 yards and strung together not 1, but 2 touchdown drives with at least 96 yards. That is hard-nosed football. Jared Goff was efficient. Amon-Ra St. Brown found the end zone, and the Lions' backfield combo of Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs once again made history. That duo has now scored in the same game 11 times, the most by any running back tandem in the NFL. On defense, the story was all about the pass rush. Baltimore's Lamar Jackson got sacked 7 times. 7 times! That's the most in his career. And here's the kicker. Hours before kickoff, Detroit puts Marcus Davenport on IR. You'd think their front would be shorthanded. Instead, Muhammad came out of nowhere with 2.5 sacks, sparking a defensive line that had been quiet for the first 2 weeks. So yeah, on paper, this was an impressive road win. But let's hit the pause button here just for a second. Let's pump the brakes and slow it down, baby. Who had the Detroit Lions actually beaten? Because when you look at the Detroit Lions, they did beat the Chicago Bears Week 2. And let's just be real. The Chicago Bears, they're a flat-out mess. They're terrible. They are arguably one of the worst teams in the league. And then they beat the Baltimore Ravens, a team that looks like it's falling apart in front of our eyes. Derrick Henry coughed you up yet another late fumble, his 3rd in as many games so far this season, and the Baltimore Ravens gave up long touchdown drives like it was 2010 all over again. This just isn't the same Ravens team that we're used to seeing, and it shows. Hence why I did not have them in my top 10 power rankings. But hey, you all want to do it. Slow it down, Buck. Slow it down. Slow it down, baby. So while the Detroit Lions do deserve credit for responding after that ugly Week 1 loss to the Green Bay, let's not crown them just yet. Yes, they are 2-1. And yes, Dan Campbell has his team played hard. But the NFC, guys, is very, very deep. The Eagles, the 49ers, the Rams, those teams are proven playoff pedigrees. And the Lions, they've beaten 2 struggling squads so far this season. And in 3 games this season, they've allowed opening drive touchdowns each and every time. That's not a trend you want to try, that you're trying to prove you're an elite team. So, guys, here's my thoughts on the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions are a good team. There's no doubt about it. They're physical, they've got weapons, and they got playoff mix all year long. And they'll be in the playoff mix all year long. But are they back on top of the NFC North or the NFC in general? Not yet. Let's see what happens when they face a legitimate contender, because so far they've beaten up the weak and struggling opponents. Until they show that they can hang with the big dogs, I'm taking a pause on the Detroit Lions hype. But I want to hear from you guys. Do you guys think the Detroit Lions are really back, or are we just overreacting to wins against bad teams? Comment down below, because this is a live interactive show. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, guys. We're live every Monday through Thursday at 9 p.m. East Coast time, right here at youtube.com/man hour. And of course, Saturday night as well with our weekly NFL preview show. Justin Osborne says, talk of the week should be the Kansas City Chiefs versus Baltimore. Loser is 1-3. This will definitely be a topic on Thursday's show. 100%, Justin. We're going to dive deep into the Kansas City Chiefs and Baltimore Ravens game 100%. Carson Lang, my dog, says, it is sad that the Ravens are Henry's team, not Lamar's team. Do you guys think the Baltimore Ravens are Derrick Henry's team, or is it Lamar's team? That's a question for topic number 2 here, but stay tuned for that. Old Man says they never left. They was always and will be atop of the NFC North.
Pigskin pun. Get you some.
First of all, Old Man River, slow it down, baby. I understand we are backing off the Green Bay Packers just a little bit. No more buying that Green Bay Packer hype. No more Super Bowl run. That's what? Slow it down, baby. because the Green Bay Packers are still the real deal. The Minnesota Vikings are still fool's gold. The Chicago Bears are still bad. So really, it's a two-horse race in the NFC North. I will get that. But for the rest of the NFC North, or for the rest of the NFC, the Lions right now cannot beat the Rams. The Lions right now cannot beat the Eagles. The Lions right now probably won't even beat the Dallas Cowboys. The Lions right now will not beat the Washington Commanders. The Lions right now will not be a very competitive team in the playoffs. They have a lot of room to grow. Now, they have the potential. Jared Goff, top 10 quarterback. We talked about it a little bit last night, right? Amon-Ra St. Brown, a top 10 receiver in the NFL. We talked about it last night. Aiden Hutchinson last night looked like a dog, man. They have the capabilities, but they're not front runners. They did leave. They left last year when they were one and done in the playoffs. Justin Osborne says the Ravens defense is horrible to allow the Bill game stats and then the Detroit Lions stat. And this is the biggest downfall of the Baltimore Ravens right now. Now, obviously, we're going to get more into it on topic number 2 about the Ravens' slow start. But Coach Harbaugh, the Baltimore Ravens, the media, the fan base, all thinks this is the Ray Lewis Baltimore Ravens defense. It's not. It's not. Yes, they have some talent. Yes, they got a little bit of this and a little bit of that. But truth be told, the Baltimore Ravens defense sucks. They suck. Yes, they play the Detroit Lions, a very good offense. Yes, they play the Buffalo Bills, a very good offense. But at the same time, you got to be able to slow down a little bit, right? Carson Lane says, right now, of the undefeated of the NFC North, I still take the Eagles over the Lions, but the Lions are number 2. Carson, shut your mouth. The Lions aren't even top 5 right now in the NFC. You got the Eagles. Then you got the LA Rams. And then, don't sleep on the Commanders. They still there. Don't sleep on the Cowboys. They still there. They're still Super Bowl bound, baby. And don't you sleep on the Arizona Cardinals either. The Cardinals are coming. Laura Johnson had us in the chat.
Pigskin pun. Get you some.
She says, Vikings are coming in hot. She says, give me some more Carson Wentz. Send JJ off to Miami. I don't know about that one. Slow it down, Laura. Slow it down. Justin Osborne says it's too early to tell a lot in the NFL. Can't win or lose after 3 weeks. You can tell who is at the bottom. So we can tell you a lot about the NFL in 3 weeks, right? We can tell you that the Baltimore Ravens defense is trash. We can tell you that the Detroit Lions are still a middle of the pack team. We can tell you that the Green Bay Packers were highly overrated. We can tell you that the Kansas City Chiefs have a lot of building to do. We can tell you that the Buffalo Bills are the best team in the NFL. Now, this is what's so great about the NFL, Justin, is legitimately, everything changes from week to week to week. Think about this. Week 2. Green Bay Packers are on top of the world. Super Bowl champion, right? Now all of a sudden, we're like, who are these guys? Fool's gold. Detroit Lions, week 1. They're done. They're trash. All their coordinators are gone. And now, 2 weeks later, they're NFC's favorites again. Put them back in the Super Bowl conversation. They're, what did Carson say? They are number 2, right behind the Philadelphia Eagles in the NFC. This is what's great about the NFL is legitimately, it is fluid. It's so fluid. Think about this. If the Miami Dolphins start going on a 2-3 game winning streak here, all of a sudden this 0-3 start for them, we're like, oh, okay. We can see you, Miami. Okay, Tyreek Hill, we see you. But then they lose the next week, like, God, fire everybody. Wayne Fute says the Baltimore Ravens defense didn't even get 1 sack. Not 1 sack. Now, is that testament of how bad their defense is, meaning the Baltimore Ravens, or is that testament of how good the Lions offensive line is? Two tails of that coin, right? Two tails of that coin. Lord Johnson says, I'm never going to slow down, baby.
Pigskin pun. Get you some.
Laura, you will do what you're told. Sit down in your corner and count to 10. Alpha Rob says Lions wasn't in the regular season football shape week 1. I can give you that. Obviously, week 1, we don't know what is going to happen. With the Brazil games and the Mexicano games and the divisional rivalry, yes. Week 1 football is always a toss-up. You never know what you're going to get. Because you have teams that have been playing hard for 3 weeks. You have teams that's been taking 3 weeks off. And then all of a sudden it is time for everybody to play 100%. Cramps, injuries, all this other stuff, right? So yes, week 1 is a big clusterfuck. Let's just be honest. I wish the NFL did not schedule division rivalry games week 1. I want to see them week 10. I want to see them week 18, 17, not week 1. Matter of fact, the first 4 weeks of the season, guys, I'm going to raise a petition that say no division games are ever played the first 4 weeks of the NFL season. Because I don't want the Chiefs and Chargers playing in Brazil. I don't want the Dallas Cowboys and Philadelphia Eagles playing opening night. I want to see AFC, NFC, New York teams, right? I want to see the Lions versus Ravens week 1. I want to see the 49ers versus Cowboys week 2, right? I don't want to see the Eagles and Cowboys play about week 4, week 5. Let's get adjusted to the NFL season and then start to pound each other down. Carson Lang says Commanders don't have Daniels. Cowboys still have Jerry Jones. Only reason why the Cowboys are 2-1 is because Russell Wilson did Russell Wilson things. Or, hear me out, the Dallas Cowboys are them. The only reason why the Dallas Cowboys are not 3-0 right now is because they ran into a juggernaut in the Chicago Bears playing at home on Sunday afternoon football. All the pressure's on them, right? They just got whacked by the Detroit Lions. It's bound to happen. Justin Albert says, week 1, sometimes the best team doesn't win. Matter of fact, Justin Osborne, you can say that about every week 18. Every 17 NFL games, you can say the best team doesn't always win. So if the Cowboys and Bears play again, I think we're all going to kind of agree that the Dallas Cowboys are the better team than the Chicago Bears, right? We're all going to kind of say that they are better than the Bears. Did week 3 show that? Then we look at the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. What was that? 42-6 score, 42-43, a complete ass whooping. Complete ass whooping. Are the Bengals really 40 points worse than the Vikings? Slow it down, baby. That's why NFL is so great. Shay Frazier's in the chat. Shay is a Green Bay Packers fan, so he all knows about overhypedness. He says Lions top of the NFC. Slow it down, baby. Shay, I think we need this. Shay, I think you're right. Shay, this is the first time in like a long time I have agreed with you. This is the first time in a long time I'm saying, hey, we need to take off these narrow glasses. We need to get on our drone. We need to take a look at the full picture. Because the Lions are 2-1, yes. They lost to the Green Bay Packers. The best team in the NFC, I might add. And then they beat down. I'm talking like baby back, bad baby Chicago Bears. What was that, 52-21? And then they beat a Baltimore Ravens team that I cannot put my pulse on yet. Are they good? Are they bad? Are they falling off the cliff? What is going on? What is going on? Carson's like, Buck sounds like a homer right there. The Cowboys lost to the juggernaut Chicago Bears. They were only one defensive stud from winning that game. If only they had a game rucker on defense like Micah Parsons. Only they had a pass rusher. Only they had somebody that could pin the ears back and go. Daniel Barry Sports Highlights. What's up? Happy Tuesday. What is up, everybody? What's up, Daniel Barry? What's up? But guys, the question is, are the Detroit Lions officially back in the top dog race of the NFC North? Or the NFC in general? I'm saying no. Shay is saying no. Everybody else is saying yes. Justin's saying yes. Carson's saying yes. Old Man River's saying yes. Alpha Rob's saying yes. You guys all love you some Detroit Lions. You guys are all, I get it. I get it. But let's talk about the Baltimore Ravens. 3 weeks into the season, and they're sitting at 1-2, and it feels like this team is teetering back and forth. They're teetering of being a good team, or they're going to fall off the cliff very, very quickly here. Because after Monday night's 38-30 loss to the Detroit Lions, the big question has to be asked. Who is to blame for the Baltimore Ravens' slow start? Because somebody's got to get the blame. Because we know damn well it's not going to be Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson gets never the bad blame. Lamar Jackson's always great. That one win is all because of Lamar Jackson. Not because they played the Cleveland Browns. It's because Lamar Jackson's God, baby. But guys, who gets the blame for the Baltimore Ravens' slow start? So let's start with the obvious. Derrick Henry. Mr. King Henry himself. He was brought in to give the offense balance, to bring the hammer late in games. But so far, he has been a liability so far in 2025. Henry has now fumbled 3 times in 3 games, twice in the fourth quarter. Both of those in Ravens losses. Monday night, with the Ravens trailing by 4, he had the ball punched out by Aiden Hutchinson deep in their own territory. The Lions turned that into points, and the momentum for the Baltimore Ravens was all but gone. This is a guy who in his first 9 seasons only had 2 fourth-quarter fumbles total, and now he's matched that in back-to-back weeks. Henry even admitted afterwards, I'm at loss for words. This sucks right now. He is frustrated, and the Ravens have to be frustrated as well. But it's just not Derrick Henry. Let's talk about that defense. This is supposed to be John Harbaugh's team. Tough, disciplined, stingy on defense. Instead, they've given up back-baking drives against the Detroit Lions. They allowed not 1, but 2 touchdown margins of 96-plus yards or more, right? That's the kind of thing you expect from bottom-tier defenses, not the Baltimore Ravens. And it's just not the one-off. This unit has been gashed for long possessions before, and it's happening again and again and again. Hell, Lamar Jackson was sacked 7 times, the most in his career. When your quarterback is on his back that much, you got a serious problem up front. Now, I know you Lamar Jackson fans are saying, oh, it's Derrick Henry's fault. It's the defense's fault. It's coaching's fault. It's the receiver's fault. But listen, Lamar Jackson's not completely off the hook either. He threw for 288 yards and 3 touchdowns, which looks great on paper, but those were all pat statties at the end of the game. Let's just be honest. But a part of those sacks as well is falling on Lamar Jackson as well. He is holding the ball way too long. He's trying to extend plays that just weren't there. And when you're already dialing up a shaky offensive line and the defense is giving up long drives, you can't afford to lose negative plays. Now, let's zoom in for a second, right? The Ravens have scored 111 points in 3 games. That's the most of any team in the NFL history at this point in the season. That tells you that the offense is producing, but the mistakes are killing them. You don't get to be 1-2 with that kind of scoring unless turnovers, blown production, and defense collapses are happening consistently. So, guys, who is to blame? Is it Derrick Henry? Is it John Harbaugh? Is it the defense? Is it Lamar Jackson? Is it Zay Flowers? Is it the offensive line? Honestly, guys, it's everybody. Everybody on the Baltimore Ravens is to blame for this slow start. Henry fumbles have swung the games. Their offensive line has gotten Lamar sacked at a career-high number of times. The defense is coughing up marathon drives. And Harbaugh, he's overseeing all this. This is the 3rd time in 18 years as a coach that the Baltimore Ravens had a losing record at the first 3 games. That's not the standard in Charm City. So my answer, guys, is if I had to pin it on one thing and one thing only, it's discipline and the lack of it. The reason for the Ravens' slow start is John Harbaugh. Whether it's ball security, protecting the quarterback, or finishing drives on defense, the Ravens just don't look locked in right now. And until they clean that up, this slow start is going to spiral out of control quickly. John Harbaugh better figure this thing out quick, fix it quick, or he is going to be out of Baltimore. He is on the hottest of the hot seats this season. But what do you guys think? Who is to blame for the Baltimore Ravens 1-2 start? Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson, the defense, John Harbaugh himself? Comment down below, guys, because this is a live, interactive show. Don't forget to hit the like button, hit the hype button as well, subscribe, and share this with a couple friends as well, because sharing is caring at the end of the day. Alpha Rob says, let me put this blank and clear, Buck. The Ravens have always been the most overrated team in the league, and the media wants them to win a Super Bowl so badly. Guys, let that sink in. Think about what Alpha Rob just said. Because I agree with everything that Alpha Rob just said. When we talk about overrated teams, we're going to talk about the Baltimore or the Denver Broncos here in a little bit. But when I posted my week 1 power rankings, I did not have the Baltimore Ravens up there. When I posted my week 2 power rankings, I did not have the Baltimore Ravens up there. When I posted my week 3 power rankings, the Baltimore Ravens weren't up there. When I post my week 4 power rankings tomorrow, the Baltimore Ravens are not going to be over there. And I get ridiculed week after week after week. But then we see this. 2 96-yard drives to the Detroit Lions. Giving up 40 points to the Buffalo Bills. Skating past the Cleveland Browns. Not Cleveland Browns. Who they play? The Bengals. Just barely, right? I don't even know who they beat like at this point. Alpha Rob said it the best. The Ravens are the most overrated team in the league, and the media wants them to win a Super Bowl so bad. This is facts. This is facts. And Shea Frazier, 4 fumbles this year has to be fixed. Shea, I watched you guys play tonight. First drive, fumble. Kill the whole minimum of the game. Your guys' offense was driving. You were looking like, hey, we're going to hang with like dub like a little bit, right? Fumbles kill everything. Fumbles kill everything. Yes, Derrick Henry needs to protect the ball. But we're going to be talking about the fallen king here very, very shortly, so keep that energy. Carson Lang says Ravens will only go as far as Henry carries them. Look at the Bills game. Henry had damn near as many offensive plays as Lamar. When the game is on the line, the Ravens don't put it in Lamar's hands. It's because the Ravens don't trust Lamar. And Carson Lang, look at the last 4 minutes of that Buffalo Bills game. Where was Derrick Henry? The last 4 minutes of the Buffalo Bills game, week number 1, Sunday Night Football, where was Derrick Henry? He was on the bench. Matter of fact, the last 2 seasons, Derrick Henry just has 10 carries in the final 4 minutes of the Baltimore Ravens losses. So when the Baltimore Ravens lose, Derrick Henry is on the sideline with 4 minutes left in the game, and he doesn't touch the ball. Why is that? If this is Derrick Henry's team, the game is on the line, 4 minutes left in the game, you give your stud the ball. They don't do that. Derrick Henry is on the sidelines pouting, crying, because he's not getting the ball. So I don't think you can say that the Ravens will go only as far as Derrick Henry carries them, because Derrick Henry is not the Derrick Henry's team. This is still Lamar Jackson's team. Four of Lamar's sacks came with the last few minutes. True. Derrick Henry also wasn't in there. Just pointing that out there. Justin Osborne says, I 100% agree. I say the defense is the number one issue because when you have turnovers, the defense isn't standing up. Look at the Patriots losing 5 turnovers and still having a shot against the Steelers. That is tough. That's tough, but it's facts. And Shay says, Buck, you're right.
Pigskin pun. Get you
He
some.
says you're right. Fumbles kill everything. Fumbles kill momentum. Fumbles kill swag. Fumbles kill your right to step back onto the football field. Let's just be honest. And Shay also says Henry also needs to lead. Body language is trash and kills the energy too. I mean, honestly, if I was in Derrick Henry's shoes, I would be upset as well. I'm 31, 32 years old. You gave me $25 million guaranteed, and 4 minutes left in the game. Game is on the line. We're losing. I'm on the bench. Guys, let's flash back to a couple years ago. Derrick Henry was on the Tennessee Titans. they're playing the Seattle Seahawks. I believe they were down 20 points in the fourth quarter. Did the Titans pass the ball? Oh, hell no. What they do? They give the ball to Derrick Henry. 120 yards in the fourth quarter alone. Come back and win that game. Derrick Henry still has the ability to break those long runs. Derrick Henry still has the ability to put the team on his back. Derrick Henry still has that it factor. So when you're not using him, when you're not abusing him, yes, my body language is going to be a little trash. Yes, my body language is going to kill that energy. But at the same time, that's coaching as well. Coach him to be better. Coach him to like, hey, you are our leader. You are the man, the myth, the legend. You are Derrick freaking Henry. King Henry put the crown on you. But here you are on the sideline. Why is that? That's a John Harbaugh question, right? Carson Lang says the Bills stripped him and then he sat the bench. Henry is on the bench because he needed a breather from carrying the team in the first 3 quarters. Carson Lang, I want you to go to pff.com. PFF.com. If you guys have a paid subscription there, or even StatMuse, I think it's statmuse.com. Go to those websites. Derrick Henry gets stronger in the fourth quarter. Derrick Henry thrives on 25, 30 touches in a game. Why? Because he does not wear down as fast as the rest of the defenses do. So when the Ravens are giving him a breather, Carson, they are thankful that he is on the sideline because we don't have to stop that 260-pound man like anymore. We don't have to stop that 22-mile-an-hour running downhill. We can pin our ears back and go get Lamar Jackson. Fine by us. You made our job a hell of a lot easier. Poor coaching. Carson Lang says same could be said about Lamar Jackson as well. Are you referring to the body language? Yes. Lamar Jackson has always had bad body language. Lamar Jackson has always been kind of like right, that type of person. Unfortunately, that's just the way Lamar Jackson is. He was that way in Louisville. He's been that way his whole time in Baltimore. It's always somebody else's fault. Never my fault. Never my fault, always somebody else's fault. Alpha Rob said, teams are going to go after the ball when Derrick Henry carries the ball because he's always trying to stiff arm everyone. That is true. That is true. And I would do the same thing. If you're going to expose that ball by getting it out there, punch it, right? And I think, Alpha Rob, that since the trend has been set, Aiden Hutchinson, the Buffalo Bills, I believe it was it Ed Oliver that punched it out? It's on film. It can be done. And the NFL is a copycat league, and the Peanut Pillman punch is the real thing. Carson Lang says, then it's all at the coach's fault. Why the Ravens who they are? It is. It's John Harbaugh's fault. Matter of fact, I've been saying this for the last 2, if not 3 seasons. I think John Harbaugh is on the hot seat, and he needs to go. I understand their 13, 14 win regular season. I understand that they make the playoffs year after year after year. But once you get to January, what do? You poo-poo the Beto. That is what the Baltimore Ravens do year after year after year. But guys, let's talk about something that the NFL world is buzzing about right now. And you guys here in the chat are buzzing it as well. And the question is simple, but very, very powerful. Are we watching the downfall of Derrick Henry in real time? Are we watching Derrick Henry fall off the cliff in real time? Now, Derrick Henry is in his second season with the Baltimore Ravens. He's coming off an incredible 2024 campaign where he rushed over 1,900 yards and reminded everyone that even in his 30s, he can still dominate. The Ravens doubled down on their fate with him this offseason and signing him to a 2-year, $30 million extension with a $25 million guarantee. That's not chump change. That's the team saying, we believe this is our guy and is the engine for our offense, just not in the fourth quarter. But 3 weeks into the 2025 NFL season, the tone has shifted. Monday night against the Lions, the Baltimore Ravens trailing 28-24. Henry took a carry inside in his own 20. Hayden Hutchinson came from behind, punched the ball out. The Detroit Lions turned that into points. The Ravens lost 38-30. And for Derrick Henry, it wasn't just another fumble. It was his third as many games. To put this into perspective, his entire first 9 seasons in the league, he only had 2 fourth quarter fumbles across 136 games. 2 in 9 years. Now 3 in 3 weeks. That's the kind of stats that make you stop and say, hold up, what's going on here? Father Time, Cliff, what is going on? Derrick Henry, guys, was very, very frustrated. He slammed his helmet on the sideline. In the locker room, he admitted, right now I'm lost for words. This sucks right now. He even apologized to his teammates, coaches, and fans. You can feel the weight in his voice. And look, John Harbaugh tried to defend him. He called it a blind spot. He said Henry had the ball in a good position. Maybe so, but when mistakes start to pile up, explanations only go so far. The production has been up and down too. Against Cleveland in week 2, Henry just was held to 23 rushing yards. Against Detroit, 50 yards and a touchdown. But again, mirrored by the turnover, raw numbers look decent. The numbers look decent. However, throughout 3 games, Henry's average is almost 6 yards per carry and has already 3 touchdowns. On paper, that looks effective. On paper, he still looks like the man, the myth, the legend. But the inconsistency and the timing of mistakes are raising eyebrows. Now, let's not ignore the elephant in the room. Derrick Henry is 31 years old, guys. He's taken as many hits and just about any running back in the last decade. When you're that big, that physical, and you lean on as heavily as you were in Tennessee, eventually the body does wear down. Father Time doesn't miss. Matter of fact, Father Time is undefeated. You start seeing little things. The burst is not quite there. The ball slipping loose in moments where he never used to. And the frustration starting to show on the sidelines. 1, 2, 3 red flags for Derrick Henry right there off the bat. But there's the other side of the story. Derrick Henry is still producing when he's given space. That's 5.9 yards per average. That's elite. 3 touchdowns in 3 games. That's elite. That tells you that the Baltimore Ravens still trust him in the red zone. He's still the hammer when it gets close. And remember, this is coming after a season where he had one of the best statistical years of his entire career. So it's not like he's fallen off the cliff yet. Or has he? So what are we looking at here, guys? Honestly, I don't think Derrick Henry is quite done yet. He's too proud. He's too talented. He's too accomplished to be this one to be the end. But what might be seeing the start of the decline? We were definitely see him crest last season, and now he is on the other side of Father Time's hill. The early cracks are in the army, or in the armor. He's not the unstoppable King Henry who carried the Titans on his back for anymore. He's going to need help from the Ravens offensive line. He's going to need help from Lamar Jackson. He's going to need help from that defense as well. He's going to need his coaches to scheme into him a situation where he can thrive. He's going to need to take care of the football because 3 fumbles in 3 games, that's unacceptable for any running back, especially the one with his repetition. So, guys, let me throw it to you. Are we seeing the downfall in Derrick Henry in real time, or is this just a bad stretch that he'll power through? I want to hear you guys down in the comments down below. This is a live, interactive show. Subscribe, comment, like, and share. Shay says Justin Fields is out, so now Jaxson Dart will be a top 10. You heard it here first. We'll be talking about Jaxson Dart very, very soon, Shay, so stay there, right? And Shay says overreacting to King Henry. He will be fine. The king still sits on his throne. The throne of lies. Isn't that what old Will Ferrell says? The throne of lies. Teams are tackling the ball instead of Derrick Henry. It's smart. It is very, 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 very smart. If you don't want to get on his highlight reel of getting stiff-armed and like the old, was it C.J. Gardner-Johnson? Ew, I can't get it. Boom. Tackle the ball. Tackle his ankles. Tackle the ball. You will win. Justin says the Baltimore can't handle the pressure if and when the game is on the line. This is facts. This is fact, Justin. Now, is it Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson, or John Harbaugh? Go back to the previous segment. Who is to blame? The finger's got to be pointed at somebody. And right now, a lot of fingers are pointing at Derrick Henry because Father Time. Fumbling the ball. Don't know what it's like to win. It's all tough. It is all tough at the end of the day, guys, and I want to know, are we seeing Derrick Henry's fall in real time? Are we seeing him fall off the cliff in real time? Are we seeing him get dethroned and somebody like Saquon Barkley taking it. Carson Lang says, I think we're seeing that Henry is human. He's on the decline, but still a running back on the most that most teams would love to have. Most teams, except for the Dallas Cowboys, they can't afford Derrick Henry. Is that too soon? Is that too soon? All right, guys. So let's talk about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Mike Evans, because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, guys, just took another big hit on their roster. Star receiver Mike Evans expected to miss 3 to 4 weeks with the strained hamstring. And it's just not any hamstring. It's the same hamstring he has been dealing with since his 2019. He's missed games with that hamstring in 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, and now 2025. This isn't new. It's the same issue that's nagged him his entire career. Evans suffered the injury in the fourth quarter of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers win over the New York Football Jets on Sunday. An MRI today confirmed it is a moderate strain, and the Buccaneers are going to have to survive without him for at least the next month. Now, speaking of Father Time, Mike Evans is 32 years old. He's already missed games in the past with the same exact problem, and the concern is now whether it's going to be a recurring theme throughout the year or not. But let's set the stage, right? Evans has been the rock for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense so far this season. He's got 14 catches for 140 yards and a tutty. Not grandy numbers, but reliable production. He's the guy that moves the chains. He's the guy that defense have to respect on every snap. When you take him out of the equation, suddenly the Tampa Bay Buccaneers looks a lot thinner and a lot more below average. And here's where the trouble really starts to pile up. Chris Godwin hasn't been available yet. He's still working his way back from his ankle injury last season. He could return this week, but he's still not 100% yet. Rookie Jalen McMillan, he went down with a neck injury in the preseason and won't be back until after week 9 bye. That means for the next few weeks, Baker Mayfield is looking around asking, who is going to make a play for me? Who is it? The timing couldn't be worse because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are sitting right now at 3-0. Perfect start. But now they got to face the defending Super Bowl champions, the Philadelphia Eagles, who are also 3-0. That's the game where you need all your weapons. That's the game when you need your offense clicking. That's the game when everything has to click for you to compete with the Philadelphia Eagles. And the Bucs could be rolling out a wide receiver core that is nowhere near full strength. Matter of fact, nowhere near practice squad level. So let's get into it, guys. How much trouble are the Bucs in without Mike Evans? Guys, honestly, this is a big deal. This is a team that has overachieved so far this season, playing clean football and leaning on their stars. Without Mike Evans, defense can load up against the run, pressure Baker Mayfield, and force Tampa Bay's secondary receivers to beat them. If Chris Godwin does come back and immediately looks like himself, maybe the damage isn't as bad, but if he's rusty and the depth doesn't step up, this could be a stretch that humbles the Buccaneers quickly. My take, guys, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are in trouble. They're in trouble. It's not season-ending trouble because the NFC South sucks, but Evans missing 3 to 4 games doesn't sink them yet. But if it does make them a lot harder to stay perfect. With games against the Eagles and other NFC contenders coming up, this team is going to need Baker to elevate his play even higher, and someone in that receiving room needs to step up in a big, big way. Well, what do you guys think? Are the Bucs in serious trouble without Mike Evans, or can Baker Mayfield and company survive until he comes back? Drop your thoughts in the comments because it's a live, interactive show. I want to hear your thoughts. Shay says, put him down. Ibuka is ready. Am I saying that right name? Ibuka? Ibuka is balling out. He has been the man, the myth, the legend. He has been the Chris Godwin so far this season. However, Shay, as he could be ready to step in that wide receiver one role. As he should be ready to step into that wide receiver one role after the first 3 weeks. When you don't have a solid number 2 receiver, you can double him up, bada bing, bada boom. His rookie season that's been so dominant, all of a sudden looks below average. All of a sudden, Baker Mayfield is not looking his way. All of a sudden, Baker Mayfield's getting sacked. All of a sudden, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are getting beat by 13 points by the Philadelphia Eagles in week 4. And then the train continues, it continues, it continues. Carson Lang says the Tampa Bay rookie wide receiver is looking good. though, to take, he's going to take his place. First things first is the rookie receiver, Egbuka. Am I saying that right? Egbuka. He has looked so good because Mike Evans has been on the field. Guys, think about this. Why did Juju Smith-Schuster look so good for the Pittsburgh Steelers when A.J. Brown was there? Because all the focus was on A.J. Brown. The minute A.J. Brown went crazy, went to the Raiders or wherever he ended up, psych ward, what did Juju do? Juju didn't do shit. You know who did do shit? George Pickens. George Pickens came back and looked like a hell of a receiver, right? Once Juju left, George Pickens was the guy. What did George Pickens do? He went shit. Guys, every Batman needs a Robin. Let me repeat that. Every Batman needs a Robin. Justin Jefferson needs Jordan Addison. Jamar Chase needs T. Higgins. Rashid Rice needs Xavier Worthy. Brandon Ayuk needs Ricky Parcell. Parcell. CeeDee Lamb needs George Pickens. Tyreek Hill needs Jalen Waddle. A.J. Brown needs Devontae Smith. Every Batman needs a Robin. Mike Evans going down for 3 to 4 weeks is not good for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The rookie can look as good as he wants. He can be Rookie of the Year candidate. He can be this, and this. But if you don't have your Batman and your Robin leading the way, guys, go back to your Saturday morning cartoons. Go back to those cartoons. How many times did Robin save the day? Very, very rarely. Now, without Batman's help. Alpha Rob says this guy has to lead the league in hamstring injuries. Facts. 6 seasons in a row, he has missed time due to a hamstring injury. At what point do you just cut it off? Cut it off. Shea Fraser says Neighbor did it last week without a number 2. Though he did have Danny Dimes throwing him the rock, he still did it without a number 2 receiver. They had a number 2 receiver. The Giants had a number 2 receiver. They had Theo Johnson at tight end, which, why are they not giving him the ball right now? Come on, give Theo Johnson the ball, dang it. They also had Wan'Dale Robertson. I don't understand why Wan'Dale isn't great, honestly. Matter of fact, I think me and Carson were texting during the Chiefs-Giants game when Robinson made that hell of a catch on the sideline, but he was out of bounds. Stepped out and then came back in. I'm like, I don't understand why he's not good. So don't tell me that Malik Neighbors doesn't have any help. He has Robertson. He has Theo Johnson. And he had Darius Slayton last year too. So come on. Carson Lang says CeeDee Lamb needs some milk or something to get better. Guys, did you see that ankle injury? Like, seriously, I saw that ankle. It was like this. I don't understand how he did not break that damn thing. Carson, you know all about getting your ankles rolled over. That may have been the nastiest sprained ankle I have ever seen that did not break. It was gross. Shea Fraser says, putting him up there with the same Robin group as other receivers is a stretch. You are right. I'm not saying Robertson is as good as Jordan Addison or Xavier Worthy or George Pickens or Devontae Smith or Jalen Waddle. Like, no. He's definitely not as good, but he is serviceable. When you are a serviceable wide receiver, just good enough to keep that double coverage off of your guy every now and then, you can start making some noise. You can start doing a little bit of this. You can start doing a little bit of that. But guys, it is time to talk about a little bit Nick Bosa. Guys, let's talk about the San Francisco 49ers because this is the one team that has lived in the land of what ifs. What if this? What if that? And guys, this should be called the San Francisco 49ers what if. The San Francisco what ifs. Guys, what if this team could just stay healthy? What if this team didn't have key injuries year after year after year? And now the latest chapter in the ongoing saga is Nick Bosa, done for the season with a torn ACL. Guys, this is gut-wrenching if you're a San Francisco 49ers fan. Bosa went down in the first quarter against the Arizona Cardinals. And even before the MRI was confirmed, he told Kyle Shanahan to expect the worst. He knew his body, and sure enough, tests showed torn right ACL. The third major ACL injury of his career. He's going to need the season-ending surgery, and the Niners will have to move forward without their 2022 Defensive Player of the Year. Now, let's just be honest, guys. You cannot sugarcoat this. Bosa was off to another dominant start. In just the first 2 weeks of the season, he had 2 sacks, 8 pressures, 15 tackles, and a pass rush rate went over 20%. He was making game-saving plays just like he's done his whole career. Since he entered the league in 2019, the 49ers are 65-32 in the games he has played. And without him, they're just 6-12 when he doesn't. That tells you everything you need to know about his value. And let's be real. The 49ers are the biggest what-if team in the NFL history. What if Bosa stays healthy? What if Deebo Samuel stayed healthy? What if George Kittle, Christian McCaffrey, Brandon Ayuk all stayed healthy? What if all the playmakers were on the field at the same time? What if they didn't have to piece together a roster every December because of injuries? They've had talent. They've had talent to win multiple Super Bowls, but the injuries keep writing the story. So how much will this Bosa injury, guys, affect the 49ers moving forward? Guys, the answer is a lot. You just don't replace a player like Nick Bosa. Kyle Shanahan said it himself. It's going to be by committee. That means rookies like Michael Williams, veteran like Bryce Huff, and Gross Matos, all of them are going to have to step up. That's a massive ask. Bosa wasn't just another defensive end. He was a tone setter. He was one of the best defensive ends in the entire NFL. Now, the small silver lining, Shanahan said the ACL tear was clean as it can get. No other ligament damage. That should make the recovery smoother. And Bosa should been through it before. But that doesn't help the Niners this year. They lose their best defensive player, the heart and soul of the pass rush, and a guy who demands double teams each and every snap. So, guys, this is the question I have for you guys. Can the San Francisco 49ers still be a playoff team without Nick Bosa? They are not the same Super Bowl threat, in my opinion. They can still be a playoff team. They can still make a potential push, but they're not winning a Super Bowl. History tells us everything that they're completely team without him. They'll fight, they'll scrap, but this is another year where they're going to look back and say, man, what if? What if we stayed healthy? What if we had this? What if? But I want to hear from you guys. Are the 49ers cursed with injuries, or does Bosa's ACL tear, and does Bosa's ACL tear officially kill their Super Bowl hopes this season? Comment down below. I want to hear your thoughts. Alpha Rob says, someone, I'm not saying who, but someone has definitely put a voodoo curse on the San Francisco 49ers. Alpha Rob, you are 157.2% correct. Take me back to when the Kansas City Chiefs did not win a playoff game at home for many, many years. They had that witch doctor come in and do the sage stuff, and then all of a sudden, the Kansas City Chiefs are the most dominant home playoff team in the NFL. The San Francisco 49ers need to go out, and they need to hire that voodoo witch, come down to San Francisco. I don't know if it's Levi Strauss Stadium. I don't know if it's Candlelight Stadium, whatever stadium they're calling their stadium now. They need to do 3 things. They need to rename the stadium to Candlelight Stadium again. Maybe that will help. They need to hire that voodoo witch doctor to come do the sage stuff. Maybe that will help. And then, just maybe, they need to stop overpaying quarterbacks. They need to stop paying Brock Purdy. Get him out of town. Because it's a quarterback system. All about the defense. Stop letting your talent walk because you want to play a quarterback. But guys, it is time for a little thing we have to call Overreaction Tuesday. All right, guys, so it is time for Overreaction Tuesday. So for those who have not seen this segment before. Let me break it down for you. Here's the deal. I'm going to throw out a hot take, a bold statement, an intense reaction to something going on in the NFL world. And it's up to us to decide if it's an overreaction or if we're actually spot on. If it's an overreaction, guys, we're calling it out. We're saying, whoa, 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 slow it down, baby. That's a little too much, Buck. We need to dial it back. See things with a little bit more perspective. But if it's actually legit, we're all going to agree with it. We're going to roll. We're saying, you know what? That's not a real perception. That's reality, and here is why. So, guys, he's about to throw out some hot takes. We're jumping the gun or the hype is real. Let's get ready to dive into see what we're overreacting today. All right, guys, so welcome into Overreaction Tuesday, the segment where we get the biggest stories from the week and decide if we're overreacting to it or if it's real smoke and mirrors. And today, we got a tough one. The Los Angeles Chargers running back Najee Harris is done for the year with a season-ending Achilles tear. Guys, Najee Harris went down in the second quarter against the Denver Broncos during a play-action play. He collapsed, got carted off, and the MRI confirmed it. Season over. Jim Harbaugh said it best. It's unfortunate. He was playing really, really well. Najee Harris will be back. I have no doubt about it. And guys, he is right. Jim Harbaugh is right. Najee Harris looked like he was finally hitting his stride in the powder blue. 6 carries, 28 yards, and he was on track for the best game as a Charger. But just like that, it's gone. And let's not forget, guys, this is a guy who hasn't missed a single NFL game until now. That's durability is a part of what made him so attractive in free agency. 4 straight 1,000-yard seasons in Pittsburgh, a physical style of running, and a veteran presence that Harbaugh wanted to set the tone with. After all the offseason noise, including the fireworks incident that landed him on the non-football injury list, Najee Harris fought back, got himself ready for week 1, and looked like he was about to carve out a big role. So, guys, here's a question for this Overreaction Tuesday. Does Najee Harris' injury derail the Chargers' season? Because let's just be honest, guys. We talked about this yesterday. The Chargers are leaders in the AFC West. The Chargers are a Super Bowl caliber team. The Chargers should make some noise, some deep noise in the playoffs. But is this an overreaction? Guys, this is absolutely not an overreaction. The Chargers' run game was built around Najee Harris. You lose a hammer like Harris, and suddenly defenses can pin their ears back and go after Justin Herbert. Without balance, the whole defense sputters, and Jim Harbaugh's second year in LA goes off the rails quick. But here's the reality. As brutal as the loss is, the Chargers aren't finished. They got the talented rookie by Hamilton, a young back with fresh legs who's been wanting his shot. He's not Najee by any stretch of the imagination, but he brings a burst and brings an upside. The offensive line is built to be physical, and Harbaugh's system doesn't rely on just one back. Remember, this team still has Justin Herbert, Keenan Allen, Quentin Johnson that finally found his hands, and one of the better defensive fronts in the entire NFL. Yes, losing Najee Harris hurts, no doubt about it, but it does not end their season. So my take, guys, the Chargers will miss Najee Harris's toughness and the consistency. But this is not a knockout blow that people are making it out to be. They are 3-0. They got the Giants up next, and they're going to take care of business. They will be 4-0 and right in the thick of it in the AFC picture. Matter of fact, they will be leading the AFC picture. Overreacting to say their season is done is wrong. The correct reaction is that they just needed the next man up to step up into that role, a.k.a. Hampton. But what do you guys think? Is the injury enough to derail the Chargers season, or can they keep on rolling without Najee Harris? Guys, drop your comments, drop your thoughts down below. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Remember, we're live Monday through Thursday at 9 p.m. East Coast time. Next up on Overreaction Tuesday. Oh, hang on. My bad. Carson says this is overreaction. That was the most he had done this season. Harris didn't do much of blank the first 3 games. You're right. He didn't. He definitely did not. But. Guys, next up on this overreaction Tuesday, guys, starting Jaxson Dart not only makes the Giants better, but it changed the entire energy on the team, and it might just save Brian Daboll's job. What? What? Guys, what just happened? The New York Giants guys are making some major moves at quarterback, and it's the right one. They're starting Jaxson freaking Dart. After an 0-3 start and back-to-back ugly offensive showing, sources told ESPN Adam Schefter that Russell Wilson is heading to the bench. Rookie Jaxson Dart, the 25th overall pick out of Ole Miss, will make his NFL debut on Sunday at MetLife Stadium against the undefeated LA Chargers. Guys, and let's just be honest, this was long overdue. Russell Wilson has been flat. Against the Chiefs in prime time, he threw for just 160 yards, tossed 2 interceptions, and capped it off with a brutal red zone possession where he threw the ball out of bounds on 4th down. The boos rained down in New York, and it felt like Daboll's hand was forced. Insert Jaxson Dart. The energy changes. The second this man steps on the field, fans felt it Sunday when he got the snap in the second quarter. And the players know it too. Dart's mobility, zone reading ability makes this offense look alive in a way that simply hasn't with Wilson underneath center. He gives Daboll a chance to open up the playbook and finally stretch his defense. This isn't just about giving the Giants a spark. It's this move it actually is saving Brian Daboll's job. At 0-3 this season, it was hanging by a thread, and Russell Wilson clearly wasn't the answer. With Jaxson Dart, the Giants at least have hope, momentum, and a future to build around. Even if the losses continue, Daboll can point to the development of his rookie and prove that his team is on the right path. The move won't be easy. Dart's first coming against the LA Chargers defense is holding points underneath 300 yards per game, but sometimes the biggest impact isn't the box score. So, guys, is it an overreaction to say that Jaxson Dart coming in right now is the right move for the New York Giants and Brian Daboll? Because I'm saying this is a little bit overreaction. You are throwing this rookie into a firestorm. You are throwing this rookie into a gauntlet of a schedule. You play the LA Chargers. You play the Philadelphia Eagles, the Denver Broncos, the Philadelphia Eagles, and then the 49ers and the Packers and the Lions. This season is all but a wash. Only one team since 2018 has started 0-3 and made the playoffs. The Giants are not a playoff team. They are capable of making the playoffs. Their defense is capable of making noises in the playoffs, but right now their offense is not going to make the playoffs. Why do you want to waste Jaxson Dart's ability week 4 to get just hammered in? It just doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me to start him. But that's just my thoughts. Guys, what are your thoughts? Is this an overreaction? Let me know. All right, guys, so we're starting to wind down the show, but we're not quite done quite yet. It is time for our final segment, a little thing we call fact or crap. Here's the deal. I'm going to throw out the statements that are some facts floating around the NFL world. And it's up to decide if it's solid facts or just a whole lot of crap. We're going to separate the truth from the nonsense, cut through the hype, and see what's worth believing. If it's legit, we're all about it. If it's pure garbage, we're calling it out. So, guys, grab your popcorn because it's about to get real. It's time for a whole lot of facts or a whole lot of crap. All right, guys, so it is time for Fact to Fact. The segment where we cut through the noise and tell you the truth. And today's question is, guys, fact or crap? The Dallas Cowboys should do a tribute to Micah Parsons when he returns to AT&T Stadium on Sunday with the Green Bay Packers. Now, let's just be clear. Jerry Jones has already come out and said that we are not giving Micah Parsons a tribute. We are not going to waste energy, money, bills, y'all, to say thank you, Micah Parsons. And guys, I am saying right now, I am 100% with Jerry Jones. I am saying 100% Jerry Jones, you are correct. I am calling this 1,000% crap. Look, I get it. Jerry Jones has been on the Dallas radios this week talking about how much he respects Micah, saying he thinks the world of him as a person, and even admitting him to wish him well. If the Packers weren't the opponent, that's Jerry being Jerry, trying to soften the edges of what ultimately was a business move. But a tribute, no way. Let's really think about what Parsons did or didn't do for the Dallas Cowboys. Yes, he had some good stats. Yes, he made Pro Bowls. Yes, he racked up sacks and had flashes of elite athleticism that we all know that he has. But did that translate into the postseason success for the Dallas Cowboys? When the Cowboys needed him the most in playoffs and in big games, where was he at? Micah Parsons was nowhere to be found in 2001 or 2021 and 2022 against the San Francisco 49ers. He was nowhere to be found in 2023 versus the Green Bay Packers in the playoffs. The defense got gashed for over 400 yards rushing in those playoff X's. And you know what? That's the part of reason Jerry pulled the trigger and traded Micah Parsons in the first place. He can't stop the run. Dallas moved Parsons to the Green Bay Packers in exchange for Kenny Clark and 2 first-round picks. Why? Because they wanted to be better up front, especially against the run. And you know what? It's been working. Through the first 3 games, the Cowboys have given up to 3.7 yards per carry. That's a major improvement compared to when Parsons is on the field when this team is still in the middle of the pack or worse against the run. Matter of fact, they were 31st last season against the run. And let's not pretend this was some messy breakup. Jerry said it himself. There was nothing personal about the trade. No bad blood. It was about business and getting better. But the business doesn't mean you throw a tribute for a video for a guy who, at the end of the day, never delivered you a playoff win. Never delivered you a Super Bowl. Never delivered you any greatness in December, January, or February. So, guys, here is the truth. Micah Parsons was talented. He gave Dallas some great moments. He didn't give them the legacy, though. And in Dallas, it's all about rings, not regular season stack totals. So, no, the Cowboys don't owe him a tribute. Jerry Jones don't owe him a damn thing. They owe it to their fans to move forward with the guys who are actually going to get the job done. But what do you guys think? Fact or crap? Should the Cowboys pay tribute to Micah Parsons this Sunday, or do you agree with me that he doesn't deserve it? Drop your thoughts in the comments down below because it's a live, interactive show. I want to hear from you. Alpha Rob is saying crap. Micah Parsons is good at rushing the passer. Micah Parsons is elite at rushing the passer. But when it comes to defending the run, Micah Parsons is crap. That's what Alpha Rob is saying. Carson Lang says crap. He'll do it himself when he drives his nut across Dak's face. Micah went there long enough to deserve a little tribute. I'm going to go on a limb here and say the Dallas Cowboys will do everything in their power to not let Micah Parsons get a sack. In Philly, Mike OG's in the chat says CJ Garner just signed with the Philadelphia Eagles again. Well, that's dumb. I'm pretty sure you're trolling yet again because he just got released, and I think he's definitely not going to the Eagles. No, come on. Come on, man. But, guys, it is time for the next Fact or Crap, where we separate the truth from the noise. And today's question is, guys, Fact or Crap, are the Denver Broncos the most overhyped team in the NFL? Now, we talked about some overhyped teams today so far. The Baltimore Ravens, the Green Bay Packers, the Detroit Lions, the Dallas Cowboys. But, guys, Fact or Crap, are the Detroit Lions the most overhyped team in the NFL? Guys, I'm calling this one right now. This is a fact. This is 100% fact. And I get why there's hype around this team. I get why people are buying into the Denver Broncos. I get why the Broncos country is riding high with their ponies. Last season, 2024, guys, the Broncos went 10-7. They made the playoffs. Their defense was ranked 7th overall in 2024. That sounds impressive, right? But spoiler alert, the NFL is a passing league. Spoiler alert, the Kansas City Chiefs allowed you to get into the playoffs because they didn't want to play the Cincinnati Bengals. Spoiler alert, you didn't deserve to be in the playoffs and actually hurt your team this year. And a defense that ranks 19th in passing doesn't win championships. With an average secondary, you cannot survive in today's NFL. Being tough against the run but soft against the air. Come on. Now, fast forward to this season. What did we just watch against the Chargers? Denver had an 89-win expectancy with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and they still blew it. Bo Nix had Cortland Sutton open deep for what should have been a setup game-winning field goal, flat out missed him. The Denver Broncos punted, Justin Herbert got the ball back, and the Chargers walked off with a 23-20 win. That's not a playoff contender. That's a team finding ways to lose. That is the Denver Broncos' MO as of late. Now, Sean Payton's formula of drafting quarterbacks was supposed to find guys who avoid mistakes. And Bo Nix, he did avoid turnovers. He wasn't reckless, but avoiding mistakes doesn't win you football games if you can't make the big throws when it matters. He overthrew Mims on what should have been a 63-yard touchdown. He missed another wide-open seam route that would have been 6. And then came the dagger, the overthrow to Sutton with 2 minutes left. Those are plays that top-tier quarterbacks make. Those are plays that top teams make. Herbert makes his. Josh Allen makes his. Knicks didn't. That's the difference between winning and losing in this game. Now, let's zoom out. The Broncos ranked 31st in offense success rate, head of only the Houston Texans. Knicks is 25th in QBR, 27th in first down rate. That's not a playoff quarterback. That's not a top-tier offense. That's not an elite team. And the only reason why the Denver Broncos was in the postseason last year was because he's let them in. Look at their schedule moving forward. They played the Colts. They played the Chargers again. They played the Eagles, the Chiefs, Commanders, the Packers. Some of the best teams in the league. And if the defense offense doesn't suddenly find a gear we haven't seen yet, they're going to get exposed early and often in this season. So yes, the Denver Broncos are overhyped. A strong defense and 10-7 record last year made people believe this team is ready to break through. But the truth is, until they find a quarterback who can make them magic in big plays, Denver is nothing more than a middle-of-the-pack team. But what do you guys think? Fact or crap? Are the Broncos one of the most overhyped teams in football right now? Drop your thoughts in the comments down below because it's a live, interactive show. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button, guys, and share it with a couple friends. But until then, guys, we are out. See ya.
Hey, now it's time to take off. Gotta keep it live and raw. Better stay tuned in. Man, our NFL talk. I know that you're ready for more. They on the field, ready for war. Who's in the lead? I'm checking the score. We about to do it like never before. NFL live, uncut, raw. This is Man Hour NFL Talk. Let's go.